The world of traditional finance is moving on chain. Trillions of dollars are about to come flooding into crypto, and like any new industry, there's going to be winners and there's going to be losers. There is one token in particular that is already making a lot of noise, and it's only going to get better. We're seeing the right backers, we're seeing tremendous amount of volume. What token is it? In this video, we're going to break that down. What is this token? Why should you be bullish? And what do you need to know to make a decision on whether or not to get involved? If that sounds good, throw me a like down below and let's jump in. Now, guys, the token I'm talking about is HyperLiquid. There's already a lot of excitement around this token, but there are some things that I haven't seen talked about enough that makes me very excited. So let's find out just what the hell is going on with this token. Let's start off. HyperLiquid sitting at 60, up 50% on the month. If you think this can't go higher, I've got news for you. I think that it can. I'm not going to promise you that, but I'm pretty positive about it. So quickly, in case you're not aware, what is HyperLiquid? It's a layer 1 perp DEX, which means it's a decentralized exchange, and it is a perpetuals market where you can trade levered products such as stocks, commodities, and crypto. 50x, 100x. I wouldn't recommend going that high, but you can lever up your bets. Every order, cancel, trade, and liquidation happens transparently, one block finality, on the blockchain. And this is where everything is starting to move. And you're hearing real captains of industry. Larry Fink, for example, talks about this. He's been excited about this for a while. Have a listen.
I do believe we're just at the beginning of the tokenization of all assets, from real estate to equity.
And all the bells that you're hearing are everyone just getting very excited about HyperLiquid in this video in particular. Larry Fink talking about everything's coming on chain, everything's gonna get tokenized. Why? Because it is faster and cheaper. Anytime things can be faster and cheaper, you're going to succeed. You're going to do well. And HyperLiquid has done well. Let's go over to DeFi Llama and have a look at the numbers. How is the data looking? Enough talk. TVL, we've got 5.4 billion in total value locked as of this week, 2.4 million in fees. And so how does HyperLiquid match up against the competition? We've got Jupiter, which is on Solana, their big perp DEX, TVL 1.8 billion, fees about $500,000. Okay, so TVL 5.5 billion, fees over 2 million. Okay, so it blows Jupiter out of the water. Now we've got Aster, which is closely linked to Binance, 1.2 billion TVL and less than $300,000 in fees. So it's pretty obvious why HyperLiquid is number 10 and the rest of these guys are all the way down the list. I'm not even going to bother to look for them. So we've got HyperLiquid blowing everyone else out of the water. Numbers look good and we're only trending higher. We're a little bit below the October highs of last year, but right now we're in kind of a bearish period for crypto. Not a lot of people around, not a lot of excitement in the market. We've had a sell-off. We're starting to recover, but there's a little bit of weakness still to get through. If you're a 4-year cyclist, we've still got maybe another half a year to go until we really hit back in the bull run. So HyperLiquid looking really good in terms of fundamentals. So what else has me excited about this? Well, it has real demand for the token. And so we're not just speculating when we buy HyperLiquid. If you're going to buy a hype token, you're not just going to bet on other people buying this token because they're excited about this good performance over here and other things we'll get into later. Let's have a look at what they have in terms of actually building demand for the token. So this is a big one. HIP3 builder deployed perpetuals. Essentially what this allows people to do, which is actually pretty crazy, they're going to allow other perp dexes to be spun up on their own blockchain. So they have market definition, market operation. HIP3 inherits the hypercore stack, which is HyperLiquid's technology, and its own high performance margining and order books. So essentially, what you can do is you have to get 500,000 HyperLiquid tokens, okay? 500,000 hype, 500,000 hype. Staking requirement is 500,000. And then as they meet this requirement, they can deploy one perp DEX. And so as more and more money moves on chain, as more financial activity comes into crypto, we could see more and more people coming into HyperLiquid to take advantage of their name and their infrastructure. And so this is very bullish. 500,000 hype tokens is no small investment. With $60 a token, you're talking about a good amount of money. Now, secondly, and this is their SEC filing, HyperLiquid Strategies, and this is something I wasn't familiar with. HyperLiquid Strategies, a digital asset treasury company. So this is like Michael Saylor's Bitcoin strategy company or Tom Lee's Ethereum strategy treasury company. Primary focus is to maximize shareholder value through accumulating hype, the native ticket of hype token of HyperLiquid. So they have all this information here, and you can look this up if you want to pour through all of it. And so essentially, they have an entire other entity registered with the SEC that is going to be focused on just accumulating more and more hype tokens. Consistent demand, constant buy pressure. And I think this is why HyperLiquid is doing so well and will probably continue to do very well. I can't promise you that, but so far everything's looking good. And as if that weren't enough, 21 Shares files for Hype ETF amid robust crypto allure. You don't see that word enough. 21 Shares on Wednesday, and granted this was later last year. Regulatory approval to launch a passive exchange-traded fund that would track the price of Hype token week after the company agreed to be acquired by digital assets trading firm FalconX. And so now you have a packaged exchange-traded product ready for maybe less crypto-savvy people, more TradFi-oriented people, older people. If they want to get in on this, they want to get in on the action, they can use this ETF product. And from what I can tell, here on NASDAQ.com, we have the 21 Shares HyperLiquid ETF. Seems to be ready to rock. And so HyperLiquid is a token that's relying on more than just speculation. They actually have ways baked into the cake to drive token demand. Staking, their HIP protocol for other DEXs to be launched on it. You have an ETF. You have an entire HyperLiquid treasury entity that's just going to gobble up hype tokens. So they've got all their bases covered. And what I'm about to show you next, I'm actually the most bullish on. Also, if you want to continue to get this type of research, throw me a subscribe down below so you can stay up to date with our videos. And so let's go over to cryptofundraising.info. This is where we can find out information about how they got money, you know, if they did any kind of investing or fundraising. This is where you'll see who their investors are. It's actually a pretty useful website. So if you didn't know, now you know, and you're welcome. So let's have a look. Investors. Circle, the USDC stablecoin issuer. They are very connected with the US financial institutions. They're basically America's chosen stablecoin, shaking hands, knocking boots with all the right people. So if you look, you can see that Circle has actually invested in quite a few things. HyperLiquid, Interlope Labs, Octane Security, Binance.us, okay, 200 million raised, even though I'm not even sure if you can use that anymore. I think you can, but I know US and Binance and China and all that stuff there. Some of these might be worth looking into in your own time. Don't have time right now, but you know, if these people are getting involved, it might be advantageous for you to get involved. You can click on Winklevoss Capital here, and then you can see, you know, who are they involved with? Oh, Gemini's are involved in Zcash Open Development Labs. Zcash has been running crazy lately. This happened just 2 months ago. It's a seed round. Azura, Salad Ventures, sounds delicious. So anyway, so this is what it is. And you can see that Circle was part of a raise for HyperLiquid. So let's find out a little bit more. Circle and USD expansion with HyperLiquid. Okay, this is the kind of stuff you want to be seeing, and it explains, and this is stuff that's been here for a while. I mean, this is not new. This is September 16th. If we look back and we see where we were on September 16th, 9/16, okay, we were just a little bit below current prices. When you saw this go all the way down, tell me this right now. If you saw HyperLiquid go down to $20 and you looked right here, okay, so it went to $20 right here at the beginning of January. Okay, so we look here, we see where was it in the beginning of January, January 2026. January 2026, it had $4.4 billion in TVL, $2.5 million in fees. Let's compare to where Jupiter was at this time. 2.7 billion, less than $1 million in fees. Okay, where was Astra's not even existent? I'm not even sure. They had a big surge up there. If you're active on crypto Twitter, I'm sure you're familiar with some people who were pushing this very hard. I never went into those spaces. TVL 1.4, fees about over $1 million. So by any margin, any statistic, any figure you can think of, HyperLiquid was blowing the competition out of the water. We had this happening already, Circle and USD expansion with HyperLiquid. This is the kind of stuff that can make you bullish when other people are bearish. If people are just looking at price action, you're saying to yourself, okay, this is a $60 token, clearly. They're giving it to you for $20. This is still true, regardless of price, regardless of market sentiment. This is still true. They are still Circle is still an investor in HyperLiquid when the price is low. So this is how you can take advantage of price swings. If we see a bearish sentiment, if there's a risk-off market event, if there's a big headline that scares everybody, you can look at a token that's maybe not doing well. You can poke around and look at how it's doing in terms of volume. How's it doing in terms of investors? Are we seeing the right people getting involved? And you can say to yourself, maybe This is an expensive token, LARPing as a cheap token. Understanding the value of USDC in the broader crypto ecosystem, you can read through this if you want. Blockchain network infrastructure, interoperability for Hyperliquid traders and users. I hear a lot of TradFi guys talking about this as well. I'm a bit of a macro person. I listen to a lot of macro podcasts, and what they're talking about are people taking advantage of 24/7 trading on Hyperliquid on the weekends when there's big news and volatility to be traded. People are leveraging this product to trade money and do economic activity. That is a very bullish thing. So we've got strong fundamentals, TVL volume crushing the competition. We've got great backers, Circle, USDC getting involved. They're helping them probably in more way than one. And we have organic demand for the token baked in, not just speculation. You can launch a perp DEX of your own for $500,000 hype, a low cost of $500,000 hype. They have a treasury company, and you can get staking rewards. So this is another way to incentivize people. And if you have Hyperliquid dominating the market, people are probably going to want to buy some tokens and stake, because that's just a smart thing to do. So these are the reasons why I'm very excited about Hyperliquid. Will it go higher or will it go lower in the next week? I could not tell you. I'm not going to pretend to tell you. That's not what we're going to do here on this channel. We're going to dive into the fundamentals. We're going to do the hard work for you so you can just sit back, relax, and listen and let you decide whether you want to get involved. As always, a DCA strategy is always most effective in my opinion and in the opinion of the best investors in the world. Dollar cost average. Buy high, buy low, buy more when it's low. If you're bullish, if you're convicted, bring your averages down. If you have faith in this industry moving forward, if you have faith in the ecosystem moving forward, cheaper is better if you're bullish on the token. And based on everything I've seen today, I'm very bullish. I hope you're bullish. I hope you're bullish on the channel. I hope you're bullish on me. I'm bullish on you, bullish on crypto. Don't care what happens now. I'm looking down the road and I'm very excited. And if you're excited as well, don't be a like and a subscribe down below. Leave me a comment. Let me know if you learned anything. We appreciate you here. Are you bullish on Hyperliquid, or do you think it's going to zero? In either case, thank you for being here. We'll see you in the next video.